My wife's all over that Alec Baldwin.
Is she?
trial.
Is that right?
That's televised,
I
yes.
figured she would be.
She's watching it on court TV, and she thinks that Alec Baldwin is not guilty and will be found not guilty, all because of, and Kristen's been saying this for a while, you know, the prosecution said yesterday he pulled the trigger, and the defense said, I don't care if he pulled the trigger or not. He was told this is a cold gun. He's an actor. You know, he's acting. He had no reason to believe the bullet.
Yeah, they
was in
painted a good picture, the defense. They said, yeah, you know, he was 100 years away, literally in his mind, acting, thinking about where he has to make his mark, his dialogue. The last thing he was thinking about was the gun that was handed to him.
I mean, if somebody tells you this is good, this is a cold gun, which apparently they did. They said you're and they do that every single time. This is now. Here's the only, and I asked my wife this, and she didn't know the answer, and nobody seems to know. Like that gun, according to the Hannah Gutierrez, the armorer, she said she put the gun and safely locked it away before lunch. They had done a lot of blocking and stuff with either that gun or a different gun before lunch, and they broke for lunch. When they came back, that's when the shooting occurred, and the armorer said she had locked it away safely during lunch. So the question is, how did the bullet get in the gun? Who put it there? You know, who put the bullet in the gun? That's the
million-dollar question.
They've never been able to answer that.
At all. Yeah.
No. Now, I do think the armorer who was found guilty and is serving, 18 months or something?
Yes, 18 months.
I do blame her a lot more than Alec Baldwin.
Oh, 100%.
Me too.
100%.
And whatever your thoughts are about Alec Baldwin, in this case, if you're an actor, you know he's fired up many, many guns on movie sets.
You know, it's one of those things, if you watch a lot of movies or television shows, and all of us do in this room, and you watch any scene with a gun, I mean, in almost every movie, there's someone pointing a camera toward the gun.
Yes.
Or, excuse me, toward the camera, because it's a point of view shot.
Yes.
So that's not uncommon in the world of cinematography. You know, you hate that this poor woman lost her life.
Oh, my God, it's terrible.
Just an unbelievably careless accident.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I think.
No, I agree. And
I don't think Baldwin deliberately meant to shoot anyone.
Oh, of course not.
Much less kill
No
someone.
way. Of course not.
Is that what the state has to prove?
No, I think the state has to prove he acted recklessly and fired a gun when he didn't know it was safe. And I don't think they're accusing him of murder, but like what it would be called.
Negligent homicide?
Negligence.
Homicide. Or involuntary,
But the truth is it's not, But it's what the defense said to me was right. Baldwin claims he never pulled the trigger, and the defense said it doesn't matter if he did or not. He's handed a gun, told it's safe, it's cold, you know.
I think that's key.
I do too.
You pull the trigger or
Oh,
not.
I don't know. I don't think so, because I think on the scene you pull the trigger. You know?
I think you do too.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I kind of agreed with the defense. Like, what does it matter? You know, he's going to be pulling the trigger.
Of course he's supposed to.
And if you're told this is a safe, clean gun to use, it's a prop.
I've read about this too, and I'm sure Kelly, your wife, has way more information about this. Is that where this took place in New Mexico? Gun culture is very popular there.
Yes.
And they say that the people in New Mexico, they have their respect. They know how to respect a weapon. But there's such a difference between real life, carrying a handgun for your protection, or if you're a hunter or whatever,
of course,
and playing a cowboy in the 1800s.
Absolutely. I mean, this is on the set of a movie.
So that's part of the reason why I think the prosecutor, they said, went after this case.
I guess. The other thing is the judge decided you can't call him a producer. It's only he's being prosecuted as an actor, not a producer on the movie. I think as a producer, he'd have more responsibility, kind of like the armorer. You know?
Even then.
I know. I
mean, it's an isolated incident. But, and I guess the other question, and this goes further back outside of this case, what are live hot bullets doing on a set?
Ever. Why in the world?
At any point.
We heard rumors, nothing's been proven, that there were shooting targets in the desert between takes.
And I think that was where the armorer gets in trouble. If she's allowing that to happen between takes, that's
you don't
on
do
her.
that.
Nathan, you're talking about Alec Baldwin. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm not a big gun fanatic or anything like that. I own one gun. I've gone shooting a couple, dozen times. But it's standard practice. Like, the very first thing learn is if you're handed a weapon, the first thing you do is check the condition of the weapon, whether it's loaded or not.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of people say that, but if the armorer on your movie set says to you, here's your prop gun for the scene, it's a cold gun, am I still, as Alec Baldwin, required to open it up and make sure?
Well, I mean, it takes 2 seconds to pull the rack back and see what's in that chamber,
Yeah.
Listen, every gun owner is agreeing with you.
Yes.
But in my mind, when you're on a movie set, everything is fake.
Me too.
Everything. The alcohol isn't alcohol.
Exactly.
The bullets aren't bullets. The guns aren't guns.
Exactly. Right.
You know.
Thank you, Nathan.
Would I know the difference as an actor between a blank and a?
I don't think so. I don't know if you would or not.
Well, and a lot of times you'll hear, especially when the movies are sort of military based, Full Metal Jacket, Saving Private Ryan. The actors do go through some sort of boot camp, but I don't know if that's weapons training or if that's just physical.
You know, Chris, Tim, and I were in a movie short
with a prop gun,
and I played a sheriff with a gun. Now I will say this: the director came over to me with the gun, and it was clearly a fake gun. And he said, "I want you to see this gun is not real." And he opened it and said, "And there's no bullets in it, so you're free to." And he handed it to me, and we both looked at it. And he said, "You're free to shoot the gun." And apparently that is standard practice. And this was before.
Yeah, they announced it many times and very loudly.
They did. CK, you're talking about Alec Baldwin on trial. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was sitting here thinking to listen to you guys. So what are the chances that from the manufacturer, the ammunition, somehow a live round ended up in the package that they use, like their blanks or whatever? The armorer may have no idea what a live round looked like, and she just assumed that it was, a blank.
Maybe.
That's a long way to go.
You would hope that falls under that job title.
Yeah. But don't the blanks and the real bullets look the same, or do they not?
Yeah.
Are they do?
They're supposed to look the same.
Well, I would think that a blank bullet would be like have a blue tip or something.
Maybe.
To make sure you know that it's blank. I don't know the answer either. I'm not a gun person, so I have no idea. That's possible, CK. Anthony, you're talking about actors checking their guns. Go ahead.
Yes. So I worked security for the film industry for a number of years, and as far as the bullets looking different, they are. Blank bullets are actually crimped cases. They don't have a projectile on them, and it's very noticeable.
Okay.
They have to be.
So to me, the armorer should have seen this. And said,
100% her
It's
fault.
all
I agree.
on her.
I agree. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that.
It sounds like when they came, if what you described is correct, Kelly, that when she pulled that out of that lockbox after lunch, she pulled it out and just gave it to him for the scene.
Apparently.
Didn't check it. And didn't look at it.
Unless it wasn't locked during lunch and somebody fired a few rounds in the desert at a jackrabbit.
She says it was locked, but you don't know. By the way, one other aside to this. Yesterday they did a lot of testimony and everything, and they showed the body cam of the cops. Now, a second person was shot.
Correct.
And,
in the shoulder?
Yeah, in the shoulder. It went like through into his arm after it went into the woman who died tragically. And the cop said, "We have a young woman that's been shot and an elderly man." Guy's 49.
Oh.
That
even hurts me.
But no kidding.
It's been a 20-year-old that called it in.